Keith, I'm gonna let people in, so just
Fantastic,
relax.
Rebecca. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're in charge of the background. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And hello to everyone who's coming in. Hi, Meric. There, I see you there.
Hi.
Fantastic. Great. Yeah. So I'm glad, so glad, Nathalie, that you found your way to here. We finally got the passcode to you, and you could get in. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. My pleasure. And I'm am appreciating your mandala up there on your wall again.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yes. It's a present of a friend.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
I mentioned, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you strategically position it so it's just like right there on your left shoulder. Very nice, like super colorful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I have a message that's come in. 1 second. Let me just check this. The link is not working for some reason.
The link is
Okay.
not working. It's at the end of the link, it's written meeting, but they can use the password and the meeting room ID.
Yeah,
all right, so let me,
I have the same.
They can use it.
Okay, let me try to deal with this then. How?
If it's someone I know,
I can copy paste it here. Just a minute.
Okay, I'm going to pause play here. I think while our team is finding a solution to getting the right code and link to arrive, we've got a lot of our guests here, and just talking about how our team is throwing the ball back and forth and finding solutions and getting the ball rolling here. It's great. All we have to do is just chill out and relax and let them do the work, which is kind of like what we do in session. So Nathalie, you haven't had any sessions, neurosystemic sessions yet, is that right?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's right.
Okay, well, that's a new territory then.
It is.
Super.
I'm very eager to discover.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like it is like a discovery, right? It's like unwrapping an experience that's new. And there's kind of a bit like an adventure, a sense of adventure, like starting something new. You don't know what's going to happen next, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I think you mentioned you're quite a traveler. Is that right?
Not much anymore. I have been in the past. Yeah, I had been traveling in the past in Asia a bit. Yeah, but that's
Asia.
long ago. Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Asia?
Well, maybe it was Nepal and India for a little while, in Tibet, Thailand, Indonesia, Burma.
Wow, that's a lot of countries there.
Well, we had 2 times a year. We had 2 years with an interruption of a year back in Switzerland at that time.
Oh, okay.
It gives you a lot of time to see a lot. Yeah.
That's a big journey.
Yes.
Lots of terrain. Yeah. And you were traveling with friends?
I was with my boyfriend at that time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Wow. Mm-hmm. Guess a lot of memories that you carry from that.
Yeah.
That time.
It's funny, you know, lately I realized that each time when I try to orient about my curriculum, the dates that stick, you know, in my heart mind are really the dates of my travels. And other days, like, when did I finish my studies as a teacher? I don't remember. When did I finish my studies as art therapist? I don't remember. But the travel years are really, these are really strong dates. Yeah.
Boom. Just don't forget those, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must say a lot for those years, those 2 years that you spent traveling.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it was also the time when I discovered meditation. So they're really, I also remember the time when I made my long retreat. That's also a year I remember. Yeah.
Ooh.
So it was really, how do you say it in English? Probably mind-blowing experience, because it really changed all my ways of looking and ways of, you know, relating to world, life, myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
A bit troubling too.
What's that?
It was a bit troubling as well.
There was some troubling times as well.
Yeah.
Is that for both the travel time and also your meditation? Did you say you did a year-long meditation retreat?
No. I did at Gaia House, where Boaz also is doing his retreats, right? I did a 3 months retreat, but that was in 2014. No, the other retreats were more like these traditional Vipassana retreats of 10 days, 2 weeks, things like that, 2-3 weeks maximum. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you were doing that. That was a separate occasion from the travel time.
Was while we were traveling, we stopped, you know, in some meditation centers in Thailand and in India. Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Nice.
Yes.
And so there were some troubling times as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's
for
already when you leave home and all that is known to you, you know, and then so really you take out your roots from where you belong, kind of, or you have been belonging for many years, and then you just go on the road, you know, and traveler. That's also symbolic. It's also a symbolic way of being, right? It's really to belong nowhere, to go nowhere. You just, you know, every day you decide what will be next, and that's the way we did. And then doing meditation, and we really did this, you know, kind of hardcore Vipassana. So it was really, you know, it was shaking up all self-perception, perception of world.
Yeah.
So sometimes I felt like, you know, a cloud of atoms magically holding together, I don't know how, and calling itself Nathalie, you know. So it took quite some time
Nathalie.
who is Nathalie, you know, and who is
we are Nathalie somehow.
Yeah, so it took quite some time, you know, to put these things together again, and then
I bet.
Yeah.
Almost like are you a Star Trek fan?
Not that much, but I've seen some, but not so much. But Stardust, kind of.
Stardust. Okay, yeah. They've got this the teleporter, and they sort of, you know, become particles, and then they're transported to another place and then materialize again.
Yes.
You know, it's the travel journey where those particles are calling out the name, but maybe not all together yet. And then when you get to the other side, then it's all coming together. And
coming
there
together.
you go.
That describes it perfectly. Yeah. When we came back to Switzerland, you know, and we had to find, you know, go back to work and go back to society and find a place in society and find a way of gaining your money and things. And, you know, it has to come back together all again. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's amazing, isn't it? Because you can go on a journey like that and not really know, go into the unknown. You said you sort of uprooted yourself from your known territory, your home, and then you stepped into some unknown ground, and you went through all that. All those particles of Nathalie went through all that, and managed to survive it all through the trouble times and the adventures, enjoying some adventure. And then it took some time to get home. When you got back home, then you needed to settle the roots. The roots took some time, sounds like, to really connect and get your place and your job and etc., then you finally then start feeling like everything is fitting again.
Yes, very, very, yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah. That was a nice breath.
Yeah, I kind of realize I feel a lot of gratitude, you know, that having gone through all these experiences, I just was reflecting how probably really helps me also to coach people through their hard times, you know, to have an understanding. I'm working in a psychiatric hospital.
Oh wow.
So it's really, you know, it's so precious to have this experience of nearly kind of losing your mind, but not kind, you know, something that is still holding your perception of yourself or your identity or yourself together. And then, but to know how it is, you know, to be so close to yourself getting dissolved, and then being able to really have a feeling when somebody comes in these states of feelings and experiences, right?
Yeah. Wow. Sometimes those challenging times really bring gifts, don't they?
Absolutely.
Like now, that relating to your clients now and being able to understand a bit when they're not all put together, you can really be with them then, because you can relate to that.
Yes. And I think what came to me also is that there is also kind of trust that even, you know, when you reach these kind of very strange times, that there is something that is still, as you said before, there's something that is still holding things together and being able to go through it and find its way to build up again and find equilibrium or kind of self-sense again and construct it again in a healthy way. So I mean, even if I see people who are in desperate states, there is something that trusts in myself that there will be a way, their soul will find a way to get through it and kind of, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very touching to hear about your trust in that process.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it moves you right now as well.
Yeah. In what way does it move you, my friend?
I was reflecting on time. I was just sensing that sometimes it needs a lot of time also, you know, and that it is painful, and when you are kind of dissoluted, or how we call these states, I don't know. And
Yeah.
it needs time, and sometimes sometimes it also needs death. Sometimes people die in these states, and maybe the soul finds their way back in, you know, in the next life. However, I don't know. We don't know these mysteries, but
It's true. There's much unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And yet at the same time, you have a trust.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there's death, it sounds to me like you've got to trust that their soul is going to find where they need to go.
Yes.
There's like, even in chaos, we're going to get through it. All those molecules of Nathalie or of Heath or of whoever are going to come together again, and then there'll be that the trust got us through somehow.
Mm-mm.
Or maybe it's not trust, it's something else.
I don't know, maybe it's just, you know, maybe it's just, this is just how life functions, that it's always trying to find an order again, or a way of expressing, and a way of materializing, and a way of seems always that, you know, things are pulled. There is a law of attraction. I don't know things, find their way to stick together again, like in the universe, right? It's kind of an attraction between these molecules that suddenly find each other and find a way of shaping,
That's right. Yeah. It seems so just part of the fabric of existence.
Of life. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It really touches me now, because I feel that the world right now is in a very big chaos and very big suffering, and that humanity is really kind of dislocated in many ways, and that a lot of what we had as our measurements or our how do you say that in French? We say repère. That the way that we give things sense, or the way that we measure things, or the way we name them, or whatever. I think the references.
Mm-hmm.
I have the feeling that a lot of these old references that we had as human beings, they're kind of also kind of dislocated right now, and sometimes I'm very scared about what is happening in our world right now.
There's a lot
things falling apart.
Yeah, a lot of instability, right?
Yeah.
A lot.
So just talking about this trust, about I think just by talking about, I was never so much aware that this trust, that all these molecules floating around, they find a way to attract each other and find a shape again. Just to say that it gives me trust also in this process that we are going through as humanity right now, to say, okay, there will be a way where we will find a way of shaping again.
Yes.
Give things shape again and order again.
We will find a way
to
give shape again. How is it to say those words right now?
There is a tingling on my head and a tingling in the heart as well.
Ah, beautiful.
And now it's reaching out to the whole body.
Oh, lovely. And just take your time to just savor the tingling. And I see that you've closed your eyes. That's beautiful. And there's some emotion coming. Very nice. Yeah. Now take your time, my dear. We're exactly where we need to be. That's right. That's right.
It's funny how very quickly the system orients again. Now I can hear the rain on the windows of the roof.
Oh yeah, very nice.
It's so soothing.
Yes, lovely. Soothing, and then there's the emotion of it all. And just, can you still hear the rain? Yeah. Very nice. Do you have a skylight or something there?
Kind of as a skylight. I'm not sure about the term. I have a roof window,
A roof window. Okay, yeah, that's a skylight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I can see the trees. They're very green.
Beautiful. Well, and orientation is a big thing in our work. And when that happens just spontaneously, like you say, like it's just amazing, isn't it? This is one of those moments of all the molecules coming together, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And suddenly orientation, here and now. Ah, it's raining. And what do you notice in the body right now?
There's a sinking, but sinking inside the body, not sinking somewhere below. It's really kind of sinking inside, kind of settling
Ah.
and letting go.
Lovely. Let's take some time with that. That's settling and letting go. That's really lovely. Take all the time you like. Settling and letting go.
Yeah, and there's something very tender right now too.
Something very tender. Is that a body experience, tenderness, or maybe an image or a thought?
More like a body experience and an
Okay.
a vibe, an emotional vibe connected to the body. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Whereabouts do you
And-
notice the tenderness?
I would say that mostly in the upper body, but it's kind of everywhere. But mostly in the upper body, probably. Yeah.
Okay, lovely.
In the heart region as well here.
Okay, very nice.
But also in the mind.
Also in the mind.
Yeah.
All right. That's a surprising experience that it's in the mind as well, right?
Yeah, it's in the mind as well. Because
Very
the thoughts
nice.
are also getting tender, it's like and relaxing and not being so much agitated, but really just being here
Mm-hmm.
in a tender way.
Beautiful. And that's amazing. Like we've been chatting, we started a bit late, so it's only been 20 minutes. And from where we started, because we started the conversation out with, there was a little bit of activation, right? From didn't have the passcode and all that, and then getting to here with this tenderness and this very subtle feeling and really the surrendering that you're talking about.
Yes.
And I can tell you've done so much work with yourself. Like this is exceptional. This is like professional somatic navigation. I say I'm very impressed. Yeah. So maybe let's
Sorry
just be
to make
with
things easy for you.
That's right. It's like poo, 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 no problem. Yeah.
No, but it's
I
really, I
was-
really appreciate the quality of your accompanying and sensing. I can really feel that I feel a lot of trust in the process with you. I knew, I knew I could go there.
Oh, wonderful. It's beautiful to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I see your eyes are open a little bit more now.
Mhm.
Yeah. Very nice. How is it to have the eyes open?
It's like, it reminds me of, I've been dancing a lot, like this 5 rhythm dance and all these things. And there was
Yeah.
always a time at the beginning for quite a time, half an hour, 45 minutes, where I really wanted to dance just with myself. And then suddenly I felt like, eager to share and go and connect and things. And
That's
I think
right.
that's the stage I'm in now, that I had the chance to be really connected with myself, and then there comes the opening again to connect more again.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. So I'm hearing maybe that you're feeling because you connected with yourself, you're feeling safe. And there's even like a desire to share Nathalie, the molecules that have come together, share that Nathalie with the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And go and connect, and really to go and encounter and meet, and yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right.
And then
Beautiful.
to this, how then in the dance, how you discover yourself again and differently than when you connect with yourself.
That's right. Like
Mhm.
a different adventure starts.
Yeah.
The adventure of interaction.
Yes.
Yeah. So beautiful how you put that. You really can see the benefit of allowing yourself to really connect deeply with yourself first. That's like a a baseline that builds safety and that trust, and then just automatically comes up this, without even trying, this desire to open the eyes and then share and engage in the back and forth.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And how does that feel in the body as we're reflecting on this process for you?
Yeah, I realized the feeling is then really to be anchored and to be, kind of rooted.
Yeah.
I recall when, with the dancing process, it was then at the first, I really could feel I was not quite aligned, energy, body and body was not quite aligned.
Yeah.
So I was a bit not so stable with the movements, and then with the time being connected with myself, and it feels the same right now. Then there comes really a kind of alignment and a kind of feeling more stable, more rooted. And from that place, there comes then the possibility to enter into relation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice. And I'm curious, Nathalie, if we could explore a little bit more this groundedness and that, what did you call that? Like a stabilization, I think you called it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just maybe sensing that. Yeah. Just take your time sensing that one. Yeah. And if the eyes stay open, they stay open. If they want to close, they close. Whatever feels good for the eyes, for your being. And see what it's like as you get in contact with the groundedness more.
It's different now from, when I described the sinking inside the body before, where I was more in a personally intimate reconnection.
Yeah.
And now it feels more really like a trunk of a tree, and at the same time, the roots, but at the same time, I don't need to go inside anymore. I can stay here very centered and rooted, and at the same time connect, in sense. Yeah. It's different than the time when I need to be more inside to consolidate that. And then when it's consolidated, then it's really, I can stay here, I feel myself, sense myself as an identity, autonomous, and then I can be in connection.
And you said it's different. Like what is different about that for you to be like this tree trunk, grounded with eyes open and engaged at the same time? What is there a way you could describe the difference between this now and the other when you were sort of in yourself?
Yeah, I can mainly, I've not lost the sense of being, being in contact with myself, but I can include you, which I could not before. I think the main difference would be there. It's like the world is opening a bit without losing my part,
Yes, very nice. Yeah. Without losing you, you can embrace somehow the world. Yeah. And are your arms kind of open like this right now?
Yeah, on the knees.
Okay. Beautiful. And just feeling that. Feeling your arms on your knees and open. Feeling that trunk, the rootedness, and then this openness. Your eyes open. Yeah.
And then, then comes, mostly there comes, what is coming right now is also kind of, there is a joy and there is something playful.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there any image that comes up now for you, like when you feel this joy and playfulness? Anything arise?
Right now it's more of a kinesthetic sense. I have the feeling that my face is like it's like
it's just so joyful.
Yeah. And it feels a bit like children, they're kind of
jumping around
around,
playfully, not really knowing what to do. It's just like, so there's so much joy that it's hard to contain, right?
Yeah
It's
something
wonderful.
kind of bumpy, jumpy, dancing,
bumpy and jumpy. Lovely. So let's just feel that, enjoy that as we are here together, while you're feeling the bumpy, jumpy, the playfulness. And there might be some, maybe even a little bit of gratitude that comes in, with all of that beautiful emotion.
There's definitely gratitude.
Yes. And your eyes are closing again. And just noticing that. And it seems like there's a tone that just shifted, like when I mentioned gratitude, something shifted there. That's right. Beautiful, my dear. Very nice. Yes.
It feels like an incredible blessing,
Yes. Yes, it does. And just take your time with that blessing, my dear. That's right. Yeah, those breaths are coming in like waves. That's right.
Yeah, now it really feels like something really coming down from heaven, from above, and sinking in.
Yes, very nice. And just letting that trickling down from above. What does that feel like as it's trickling down from above?
Happy.
Happy. Yeah, happy. That's right. Very nice.
And there is really awe also. There is really awe. Because I've been sitting alone for so many years, and lately, the last years, be it with Rob also, where we did a lot of diet work and things, and also now with Silke's resilience group that I really appreciate and things.
Yeah.
Oh, and I really realize how very, very precious the interpersonal work is, and how very. Oh, I've done some with Gregory Kramer. This I don't know what's it called. But this was also interpersonal meditation with talking also.
Okay.
Inside dialogue.
Yeah.
And I really already there. We had realized how incredibly quickly the presence of an other, can help you to go into very deep stages of presence and of love and of connection and all this,
Yes.
when it is in a safe place and framework, and done with mindfulness and well-being and well-wishing.
Yes. With mindfulness and well-wishing. Togetherness.
You know, it's so touching to be seen by another being and to be seen in a loving way. It's an amazing thing, really.
Yeah. It's so amazing. It's so much. You almost have to turn away from it, right? It's so good. It's like, whoa. Yes. And I'm very touched by your depth and sensitivity and emotion and how you can express that. Wow. That's a real blessing for me to experience, to be here to witness you in this space.
There's a tingling around the nose now.
Okay. Yeah. What else do you notice through your body right now?
There's really a sitting, you know. There's really I can really sense the whole of my body really being just sitting here.
Yeah.
Resting.
Yeah.
Feeling safe.
Beautiful. And it seems like your spine is pretty upright as well. Like it's pretty effortless the way you're sitting.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe just feeling that, savoring that sitting feeling, sitting sensation, and this upright effortlessness.
Yeah, there is at the same time this verticality and the horizontal, you know, of the lap.
Beautiful way of describing that. Yes, horizontality and verticality in safety. That's right. And there's this little movement of your head. And just letting that happen too. Yeah. That's right. Very nice. Can you feel that? That little shift? Yeah. How is that to feel?
It's just really nice.
Yeah.
It's very enjoyable.
Lovely. Yeah. Just enjoy and just letting that happen. Beautiful. We're on a super track here.
I was just recalling my state last night, you know, where my body was in panic. The cat brought a mouse in the night. It was not the mouse,
Wow.
but just being woken up, and my body was just so. I have this anxiousness sometimes in the body, you know, very, very strong.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess when your cat brings a mouse in the middle of the night, that's cause for concern, right?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
And I think it's more, I'm not concerned so much about the mouse and the cat. It's more, I think these are some old memories, you know, of the body, of traumas. And then there comes the whole body is in alarm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so wonderful just to feel that, wow, this was a few hours ago, you know, and then now I can be in this stage in which I'm just right now. And it's just also available.
Yes. Like almost like fruit that you can pick from a tree. Just like, wow, there it is.
Well, it's good to have some help though.
Yeah.
You know,
I've brought you a ladder.
Come on, let's go and pick some fruits.
Yeah, let's go pick some fruits. Exactly. Yeah, and I saw you kind of wiggling. Your spine was wiggling a little bit there. Yeah.
that's the playfulness again.
There it is. Our good friend Playfulness is coming by to say hello. Very nice.
It's funny. I should still have my hand like this on my lap.
Oh,
Still
lovely.
there.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah. And how does it feel to have the hands just open like that?
It's this sense of being receptive, and at the same time, there is this sense of non-doing. It's just being receptive and not having to go and get or go and grab.
Yeah.
Just
Wonderful. Kind of like effortless receptivity.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds really refreshing.
It is.
Yeah. Mm. You've got a big smile on your face.
There is gratitude again.
Beautiful. Where do you notice the gratitude, my dear?
The heart is really wide open.
Mm.
It's really like a cup, a big. Do you have to call it a cup? No, not a cup.
A cup. Yeah.
A cup.
Yeah. We
Or
could
a
go with
bowl.
cup.
More like a
Yes.
bowl, bigger than a cup.
Lovely.
Like a singing bowl, actually.
Oh, lovely. And is that an image that you see now?
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, let's just bring the image up then of this singing bowl, and just see it in your heart area, or wherever it might be in your imagination. It's right there. Beautiful. And just seeing the singing bowl and see what happens as you watch the singing bowl.
This is really quite close to bliss, Like I guess it's bliss, actually.
Yeah. You guess it's bliss. Is it kind of a new experience for you, or
No,
you've been there
I know
before?
this. Yeah, I know it. I know it from before.
Okay.
I was just thinking that, the last very strong memory of this state of bliss was during my long retreat, my 3-month retreat. So it was like, and here it comes like, oh, even in everyday life, running from work, and then after half an hour it can be there. It's again it's so accessible.
That's amazing, isn't it? Where
Yeah.
it took 3 months of sitting and working and etc. and to get that bliss, and poof, here we are. Wow.
I guess also, when you know something and you recognize it more quickly then, and it's more, yeah.
That's right. You've been here before. Yeah. Yeah. And how is it to feel this bliss now in such a short time and engaging?
I was just thinking, I wouldn't have guessed half an hour ago that I would come to this place. So it's really nice.
Yeah. It's a surprise.
Yes.
It seems like there's more than surprise. Like, I'm not sure what that is. some.
Yeah, I think it's tenderness. There comes the tenderness comes again.
Yes.
And
Lovely.
there, oh yeah. It nourishes the trust.
It nourishes the trust.
Mm-hmm.
We are mixing quite a remarkable cocktail here, my friend. Yeah. A little bit of trust with a little bit of, what was the other thing you just said?
Tenderness.
The tenderness.
Yeah.
We've got the little bit of surprise there.
Yes.
We're
The joy.
the joy, the
Yeah.
gratitude, the
You
sitting.
know, I have my reference words, but I'm really referring also to Rob works, and there's this energy body which is really prickly and really kind of light also.
Yeah. Very
there is
nice.
this feeling of loving and being loved.
Beautiful.
There is a feeling of creating, discovering.
Yes. Very nice. Do you feel
there are many nodes of the, I guess you've heard of the lattice, but there are many nodes of the lattice which I really like, not right now.
nodes of the lattice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
I'm not.
no. I'm referring to a vocabulary that we used in the imaginal work with Rob.
Ah, beautiful.
It makes sense for me.
Okay. I guess my language is cocktail.
Yeah, it's very nice. Good. Go for cocktail. Fruit salad.
Lattice or cocktail. They both work, right?
Exactly.
So I think probably we're going to be wrapping up soon in the next couple of minutes. Yeah. But you know, this lattice and feeling all of those points kind of reminds me of what we were talking about before, like the molecules of Nathalie. Yeah.
Yep.
And they're all just kind of hanging out in this lattice, this very beautiful lattice.
Yeah. But you know what's different now?
What's that?
But I realize when this image of the lattice comes, it's really all the nodes, they're connected. There are, you know, there's some strings of light that are holding them together. They're not just floating around in a wild way, you know.
Yeah.
In an uncontrolled way.
There's some structure.
Yes.
Yeah. And just noticing that in the body, how that's embodied, the sense of lattice structure with all these beautiful nodes.
Oh, what an adventure.
Whew, what an adventure. Yeah. There's such a big sigh of kind of relief.
Yeah.
Almost like.
Well, it's relief. Maybe it's just, how nice this is.
So good. Yeah. So good. I had the picture almost like, you know, after a long day and you get home finally. And you can get in your chair and just relax and finally home.
Yes.
Yeah. It was that kind of sigh, it seemed, from the outside.
Yeah. It's true. I really feel connected, with my soul right now. And with my, you know, the essence of what we are, really. This joy and the love and tenderness. And
yes. The essence of what we are. And I've got a last question for you, Nathalie. Since you're in the essence of what we are right now, like, what comes to you in terms of what you might wish for your life, or what's the next step in your life in this state right now? What is it for you?
Yeah, it's really to, you know, to explore these ways which allow me to connect to this sense of self and experience in my everyday life, right? With my with my man and his son when he's nerving me, and
yeah
or when I wake up at night because there is a squeaking mouse and a squeaking cat,
yes
and my body's kind of panicking. And
yeah
okay, so just also to recollect, to remember to connect again to that state. Yeah,
that's right. And you had your hands like this just for a moment, this way. And is it okay if we just feel that one?
Yeah.
Feel this for a moment, just how they're kind of nestled together. It's like, how does that feel?
It tells me, don't forget.
Don't forget.
Kind of, it's kind of, don't forget to connect.
Yeah. Don't forget to connect. Don't forget to connect to these sensations, to these feelings, to this being connected. Don't forget to connect to your soul, to your essence. Ooh, yeah. And your thumb is kind of squeezing a little bit here. Like some reassurance somehow.
Yeah, they're all kind of really holding, grabbing each other.
Beautiful. So let's just take the last minutes of our session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. However the hands want to connect, however it feels good for you. And may this memory, this reminder be in your hands, remembering to connect to Nathalie's soul. Even in challenging times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even in challenging times.
I'm so grateful to you, Heath. Thank you.
I'm very touched, Nathalie, with this time with you. It's beautiful. And thank you so much for courageously stepping forward and offering your beautiful being, your beautiful soul.
Thank you for helping me to connect again. Yeah.
Yes.
It's very necessary in these times.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
So, my dear, yeah. We do have a little bit more time, and I'm curious if it's okay that we maybe bring up a couple of our lovely mentors, and just have a little chat about the session as kind of a debrief. Would that be okay for you?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. And I think we got 45 minutes left. That was about a 50-minute session. So we covered quite a bit of ground there.
Sense of time.
Yeah. Let's see, we've got, I'm going to bring up Rebecca here. Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
And
Hi, Heath and Nathalie.
I'm going to bring up Silka. Is it okay I bring you up too? Yeah, cool.
Yes, please.
Hello.
Hey, Silka.
Hello.
And let's see if we've got any other mentors among us. I think that's it for now. Okay, super.
Silke has a very similar mandala right behind her there.
It's true. Very true. And hers is on her right shoulder and yours is on your left shoulder. Lovely. Okay, my friends. Well, this is an opportunity to just chat about reflections, what you saw, maybe some key moments that happened for you, or anything that you'd like to share. It's a real privilege to have other experts in the field, in our field, who know how this work unfolds and can maybe shed some light on the process. And Nathalie, if there's anything at any time you'd like to share, please jump in and contribute.
Yeah, I really want to start with a thank you, Nathalie. It was a pleasure to be with you. I feel so close to you. It felt like you could be me and I could be you. It was like it could be my process there. It could be my waves. It could be like I was just enjoying, and I had the tears, and I was enjoying, and I had the gratitude. I was just so flowing with you. So thank you also. Such a pleasure.
I want to cry again. Oh.
And more tears are coming. We bring in more support here. Great.
Yeah, I really feel close to you, and I really felt like there were like circles, and the intensity was growing, and also with like enjoying, enjoying this so much. Yeah.
There was a lot of orientation to enjoyment, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was just a lot of enjoyment just bubbling up, but also there was, that's what we do in our work, is really emphasizing the enjoyment places. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, it was so really a natural flow, then there was the listening to the rain on the roof, and then looking at the orientation in the here and now, and then this bliss is possible. If it's really like embodied. I'm in awe. You also like, and all these beautiful words, and letters. Yeah.
And you're really pointing out a very critical point there, Silke, where we did our initial conversation, and there was some challenging waters, etc. And then there was that deepening process for Nathalie. I can't exactly remember all the little points. I'd have to go back to watch the recording. But then when she opened her eyes, there was that automatic orientation coming online. So we were moving from some of the chaotic areas of where we all can be in our systems. And then suddenly the eyes open and really are perceiving what's around, and the ears are opening and hearing what's around. And that was really the beginning phases of moving in a direction from, say, middle of that phase 2 area of more grounded agency self. And then we started just moving into the higher and higher realms of embodiment of phase 3 that we talk about in our training. And it just all falls in line. It's really quite sequential. How is it for you, Nathalie, to hear about Silke's reflections now and what we're chatting about?
Well, I'm well, Silke, thank you. First of all, I feel close as well, really. So you know, and it's so fascinating how also just by being witness, with our mirror neurons, right, that we can really connect with someone and be totally in phase with what is, what someone is living. This is also I'm always in awe about that. So it's really wonderful. And then as you started to explain, the different phases and things, I realized that I'm really curious about learning about these things, and how it's so interesting when you have these frameworks, as I refer to the frameworks that I was given by Rob. it's so amazing because you can connect it with the experience, and then you can see how, you know, the experience confirms, you know, the ways of putting it in words, or constructing the understanding of the experience, how they can, you know, find each other, and how the experience confirms that this theory, you know, holds up to the experience itself. So that's really, it's really nice when you can, you know, when you can read again through the experience, through this framework, right? Through this, yeah.
When you what you've read matches up with all those experiences and all the saints and the gurus and the deep meditators, they've written it out, the map. You go, okay, well, and then you experience it yourself. It's like, wow, it really is like that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. Thank you, Nathalie. Thank you, Silke. And if we've got time after maybe Rebecca shares a bit, then we can just swap again and come back to you, Silke. Rebecca, I'd love to hear your insights and reflections.
It was very beautiful, and thank you, Nathalie, for offering this to us, because this was a very beautiful demonstration. It's not a demonstration because it happens from phase 1 to a quite short phase 2, and then a long extended phase 3, with all the phase 3 beginning, middle part. We have a 3-phase system, so we can recognize them so beautifully in this interpersonal biology, as you, Nathalie, also have often pointed out. Like, your reflections were so to point. We don't need to analyze anything, because you actually said everything and you noticed everything. So I think also, Heath, thank you for demonstrating, because Nathalie, or her system, as we say, that's not polite.
I understand.
The system.
Yeah, sure, we're our system.
It's like, she has done a lot of work. Like, she has also a lot of differentiation. She knows the words. She knows how to identify feelings, emotions, sensations. She is aware of orienting. She's aware of not orienting to Heath. She's aware, now I started orienting to Heath. So this is a system that has, it's very evolved. And so Heath.
Oh, yeah.
So
thank you to all the teachers.
Yeah, Nathalie.
So Heath was really having a very fine sense of doing less. And just from the beginning, because in the beginning there was some deep waters, or not deep waters, wild waters, how do you call that? There was what we call chaos, which is before orientation. And there was a problem with the internet, and very often internet problems are really seriously activating. And so all over, we didn't find exactly the right link and password, all of us. So we came all in like this, and Heath just came in with a very simple question. I remember you used to travel, and this was
that was very smart.
We also knew this is gonna bring you, or you are actually going to bring yourself into what you need. And you quickly could share a lot, and you went deep very fast. So you opened up immediately. So this was all very, very beautiful. And we saw a long phase of this very special phenomenon of auto-regulation, where we actually don't need to do much. We just sometimes do a little bit, well, notice that. And exactly. And there were activations, there were thresholds, and then deactivations, but all in a very like amazing way, in awe. Yeah. So, and this is a Heath thing, by the way. If I manage to copy that one day, he's really also giving the person the opportunity to stay a long time in that state. And that's so crucial. And reflecting back again and again and again. This is so important because this is where real integration happens. It's not just we were happy and it felt good. No, this is bringing the integration, as we say, or the shift, the change, the lasting change. Beautiful, and thank you so much. Yeah.
Rebecca, fantastic to hear those reflections. And you're right, absolutely right. The longer in phase 3 we can be, the more integrating and healing that's going to be for our entire system. And the bliss, the bliss that you mentioned, and it can take a long time to do that on our own in a meditative state. And I've done some. I haven't done a 3-month experience. My longest was 15 days, and then a whole bunch of 10 days. And you do hit a very deep state of that phase 3 after many days, right? It takes a long time to really clean that out, the jitteriness of the nervous system from all the stimulation, etc. And you really dropped into that very quickly. And then we were, like Rebecca talks about, it was a long phase of phase 3. This was a real wonderful phase 3 demonstration session, and just floating there, and even when we were kind of backing out of some of the higher levels of phase 3, we were still in phase 3, and then going deeper again, and then back and forth. It was just sort of joggling between some of the layers there of phase 3, very embodied. I even tried to bring you out into the image once, before the singing bowl one, and you weren't going out, you were there. Like I was a little test to see how stable is this phase 3, and that even the therapist can't bring you out of it, right?
When was that? What was your try? I'm curious about. Did you?
I can't remember. It was you said you felt there was a deep emotion that you were talking about, and then I said, is there any image that's coming up for you then?
And I stayed with the kinesthetic sense more.
Yeah. Right. And so that's very grounded, very, not spacing out and going up into image and like all those things, which is okay too. But it was you were very powerfully embodied, that tree trunk thing. When we hear tree trunk and that groundedness, and you'd mentioned that, the first time you mentioned that, I'm going to jump on that. And we did. It was just groundedness or stability. And then we did some other things. I invited you to be with that. And then there was another round of other stuff. I can't remember exactly. And then it came back. We were talking about that, and it was this tree trunk image, and being rooted, which is indicating that we got into an even deeper level of that phase 3. Because of the depth of the groundedness, which is so essential for then being able to move into the higher levels of phase 3. So the groundedness is absolutely key, and we want to reflect that. As Rebecca was saying, I'm really looking for these elements that are going to encourage the stabilization of this phase, of this point that you're in. We could have easily, drifted off and bumped out of that, but because of the reflections and the pinging specific points, as particularly the groundedness, that allowed your system to really, really stabilize. And even there was this little rocking integration movement at times, very, very subtle. Sometimes that's much more with people, but your groundedness was so solid that there was just that your rocking was very, very tiny, almost not even happening. And often when the rocking is over, then we get this straight spine, this effortless straight spine, like Buddha, the groundedness. And then we're starting to get into levels of equanimity and spaciousness and etc. Those are quite high levels of that phase 3. I'm not sure if we hit equanimity today or not, but we were certainly with the contentment and the happiness, all that gratitude. We were in, level 3, maybe touching in level 4 of that phase 3 stuff. The bliss, right? That bliss was very powerful experience. And Rebecca, you mentioned the question about travel, and it's very, very great that you bring that up. I kind of forgot about that question, but I knew we need to jump onto a track to talk about. Now, I could have asked, was there any topic that you wanted to bring to the session today? And that you can start a session out like that for sure, but why not with some free association conversation? This is a fundamental, powerful tool that we use regularly, is to just get the ball rolling with some easy, casual chat. And we haven't spoken about travel before, but I had the sense that you're a traveler, and also the picture above you, etc. So yeah, let's talk about, let's see if travel is in there. And then you were really, you brought up so many topics there, like the molecules coming together. We were already priming in that conversation about this going into phase 3, where it can be really quite fragmented and kind of spacious, right? That bliss can be kind of, it's very open. You had your hands open like this for a long period of time. So all that conversation that we're doing, and the reflections that I was making, and the positivity that we were referencing, all of that was work that helped the quick shifts very fast through phase 2, as Rebecca accurately noted, and then the very stable situation in phase 3. So that beginning conversation was quite important. Any reflections from you, Nathalie, after Rebecca has chatted and shared a bit?
Yeah, I'm really, I realize I'm really fascinated now, because it's, the magic about the way that you did that now with me is, the feeling for me being inside was like, he's not doing much, but that's exactly the magic of it, because you were, it's this subtle touch, that you're just, it's like orienting somebody with the body. You're just touching it very lightly here and very lightly there and very lightly, and just, helping the person to be aware of what is there, and just inviting, how many times you've been just inviting to say, oh, stay there for a little while. What is, can you just stay there and enjoy, or I don't remember the words you used, but just, sense that, and this encouragement to always, just keep there and keep in touch and sense, and that is so, it's so, it was all so subtle that I barely felt that you were guiding, so it has this feeling. It reminds me, I had an art therapist. She was also working this magical way where you had the feeling that you were doing all the work, but actually the way that she had to, or you had now to accompany was such a powerful way of accompanying that makes you feel the other is not influencing anything at all. So this gives even more, this makes the experience so much more powerful, because you can feel that it's of course it's coming from you, but just these slight little touches that the other's giving you help you to, connect to these resources that you have that are already there, right? Mm-hmm. And this is real. I mean, this is real high level, magical, therapeutical work. So thank you, Heath, really.
My pleasure, Nathalie. And I didn't pay you ahead of time to say all this, right? It's like
no conflict of interest.
That's right. I mean, we hadn't done a session before. I mean, we had spoken through email a little bit based on some potential translation stuff and things like that, but we have never met before, really in this context, and it really that is I'm really enjoying the feedback, that it felt like it was just like coming from you, and in fact it was. And there is that's what we're looking for. We're going after, in phase 3, we want to almost not be there.
Mm-hmm.
We want to really give a lot of space, like Rebecca talked about, stepping back and just letting the system, Nathalie's system, unfold on its own, and just little tiny touches here and there so it stays on the right track. And of course, in phase 1, there's a lot more work that we're going to be doing to be engaging and trying to shift things through the meaning, the conversation, some images that are coming up. We're really bouncing around and helping the system in all sorts of ways, but it seems like we're not doing much because it is like a conversation. And that primes us to get up to the phase 2, where there's more agency, and oftentimes that phase is much of a longer phase, but you seem to just skip on by, like, we've had enough of that, let's head over here. Yeah. Silke, do you have any other comments you'd like to share? Or
yeah, I really like to share something, so the wisdom is in the client, right? So it's everything is already there. We just have to find it or to have a look. And Nathalie, you found already with all your work, and I really like the way your appreciation for that as well, Heath. You to name it. To name all these hours, weeks of sitting, watching, breathing, and these weeks of your life, even traveling through troubling stuff. You appreciate it so well. So that Nathalie found already the solutions of if something's with yourself is going like, bubbling up and a bit like everywhere. You found the solution in your body and in your life, and now you could like kind of see it in the societal level as well. This was kind of, I think this is something you can take out, I guess. Yeah, you have to tell me. This was such a beautiful, because the wisdom is already there on one level, and you just can like relate to the next level. It was this I really liked to watch. And then I was this gentle touching you said, Nathalie, was once it was almost, and Heath named it then, was almost a bit too much, Yeah, and then you did that, and after that I was really fascinated, because also I like a body worker. I didn't see it, and Heath, and then Heath pointed it out, like the rocking from forward. And I thought, I can't see it. And yeah, but and you felt it, Nathalie. It was really like this amazing. And I thought, I will remember that if something like that, probably, like maybe again one day with another client. I realized that this is coming afterwards. Yeah, and kind of really like that to observe. It's really, because this is this magic with the orientation architecture of our body. Yeah.
Nathalie, reflections?
Yeah, really.
Sharing?
I think this magic in this work is how you always give the mirror. You always you just name what you see, and give the other the opportunity to oh yeah, it's true, it's there. It's like just invite to to sense a little bit more and a little bit more. Just go back to the sensing, go back to the, you know, back to yeah, it's this mirroring really, about saying what I see, what I observe.
That's right.
Helping the other to become, you know, to become conscious of, oh yeah. And when you get conscious, that's the moment you integrate, right? That's the moment where you, yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
So yeah, you're referencing a very profound point that Silke started her second round of reflections on, and that is the wisdom lies within the client, right?
Mm.
And that's the brilliant thing. We don't have to do any preparation. I mean, yeah, there's I came up with, oh, let's talk about travel, right? There's, of course, there's some creativity on my side and a little bit of that we do in sessions. There's quite a bit actually that we do. That's why we have a 3-year training. But the good news is actually once you get started, then it all comes from your client. Yeah. All the treasures, all the gems, all the gold nuggets, all the great secrets that are all the secret weapons, you know, all these great things that are going to be resources are bubbling up automatically. And all we're doing is just seeing them and reflecting them back. There's that mirroring. So that's a great relief, because there's we can be quite lazy therapists, and we encourage that, to be a lazy therapist and just find those resources and just reflect them back. And that's exactly, this is the most powerful thing about that, is that's what the system is looking for. Yeah. That's the medicine that your system is waiting for right here and right now. Mm-hmm. Not some special nice idea that I can bring in, or that somebody else could prescribe to you or make a suggestion. No, it's your system, because it came from your system and it's asking for that. That's why it's there in the first place. So when we do bring the consciousness to it, then there is that, it becomes completed. There's a deep completion, and that's bliss. That's a blissful experience.
You know, I talked once about this being seen, you know, and I really, in my own experience, but also working with people, I think this is the most magic, is when you notice, or when you are aware that you're seen through the eyes of love, or seeing, you know, through wahrgenommen, really in a deeper sense, right? Your soul is seen, and this trust also in your soul. Yes. And this is where all the strength comes from then also, right? When you notice there's somebody who really wants to see me the way I really are, the way I really am, then it gives you the courage to just show yourself, you know, to get out and bring out all your treasures. And
that's right.
Yeah.
And that is the genius of the Rogerian principles, right?
Yes.
You know, we work with those, the three. One is compassion, and then we've got the unconditional positive regard, and then we've got congruence, where that's a bit about the therapist feeling, and we share that, whatever might be helpful for the client. So those three principles, we practice those over and over and over again, and you eventually get that, just you develop that friendliness, that positivity to the person across from you, and this, you know, we are each a gem in this world. Really, we're like a diamond. We're each a diamond, and we have a uniqueness, a very special uniqueness, and that's how we kind of enter the session with, whether it's a one-on-one session or in group settings, etc. It's that kind of energy that helps one feel, wow, it feels so good to be seen. Yeah. So thank you for that reflection, Nathalie. And I just wanted to mention, guys, we still have our friends in the background there. And if you have any questions, please, oh, Nathalie just disappeared.
Oops.
But in any case, if you guys have any questions, please send a question in the chat here. And then we will get to those. We will answer those. We've got 15 minutes. We got 12 minutes left. So if you got a question, or if you don't mind being recorded, because we are recording this and we'll use it for publicity's sake, then if you don't mind that, then you can raise your hand and we'll bring you up here. And later we'll get you your little signature for permission. But then you could ask your question here if you like. So either in the chat, if you like your privacy, or you can please raise your hand and we'll bring you up. Rebecca, I'd love to hear more. Do you have anything more to share on your side? Like, I mean, you shared quite a bit, but you know, you're top level. So I guess you have a couple more things to share.
I want to repeat again that this special thing of reflecting back, reflect what came from the system, reflecting it back into the system, and actually then it is real. And this
That's
is
right.
important, this interpersonal relation is.
Yeah.
This, the specification of this session for me, like this, we really could see we need the other person, even if the other person is not doing much.
That's right. Yeah.
Other than
absolutely.
that, many notes on phase 1, 2, and 3, but this is a lot of technique. Let's ask if anybody has a question, maybe.
Yeah. Nathalie, I found you there. There you are. Do you want to be, did you drop out of the spotlight? Okay, I'm going to bring you back up here.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Eisen raised her hand. So Eisen, dear, that means that I can bring you up?
Yes.
Super. I'm going to bring you up here, my dear.
Come, Eisen.
It's a short
Here we go.
question.
Okay, yeah. Let's hear it.
How were you able to see the head movements? It was almost invisible.
Yeah. Well, I'm a body worker for about 25 years, and I've been doing this kind of work for about 12 years. I can see a lot of subtlety and change in the body. That was very subtle, super subtle, I do admit. Usually it's a bit more obvious, you know, something like this, right? You can see this, right? So what I do is I'm watching, if you noticed, I'm watching her very closely. So I'm actually super attentive in phase 3. Although I'm not doing much, I'm extremely attentive to every single tiny little move and the breath that's happening. Whereas opposed in phase 1, I'm more kicked back and relaxing. You know, sometimes I'm even like this with my hand, and I'm like following what's happening with the biology. I'm like doing this, and it's almost I'm very much zeroed in on what's happening there. And so that focus, and I'm probably watching Nathalie's head and her shoulders, and watching the background as well. Yeah, there, you know, you can see her shaking a little bit. It's super tiny. Like I can see her head next to her mandala, and you just see, even if that's quite big. It was even much smaller, the movement before in the session. So that's one tip that I would say, look at something fixed as you're looking at the body, and then you will be able to eventually see those super tiny shifts. And that's when you might say, and then it's also the way you say it, suggesting, like I'm noticing it seems like you are rocking just a little bit, right? You just kind of enter into that as a possibility, or not saying, oh, you're rocking, now do this, you know. It's the language that we're using is very soft, very suggestive, like possibilities. Maybe that's the case. If you're feeling that, if you don't feel that, no big deal. If you're feeling that, then maybe just let that happen. And if it's enjoyable, just kind of enjoy that, just letting it happen, right? So you're just kind of giving all possibilities, and you're making it like the most, it's like as if you were making the bed for, you know, a loved one or your child. with love and tenderness. You're fluffing the pillows. You want it just all nice and all the possibilities, like that you open up. Maybe you're getting the bed ready for them to go to sleep, right? And you open the bed, the sheet and the blanket, and you press it out. So it's very easy for them to just get into the sheets, get into bed, and there's the pillow that's been fluffed, and you can just settle in, no problem. It's so easy. So that's kind of the, I would suggest, the energy that you want to have when you're really with your client in that phase 3 place, and you're supporting them in that. I don't know if that's helpful.
Very helpful, and thank you for the session. Also, thank you, Nathalie, for this experience, sharing this experience with us.
Thanks, Eisen, for the question. Wonderful. Nathalie, any comments you'd like to share from Eisen's question or her comment?
I realize I'm just again touched, you know, how you describe that, this tenderness and this taking care of the other, which is, you know, with the presence and trying to smoothen out as much as possible. It's really touching when you describe that.
Lovely. Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. We could start a whole new session now.
We're started.
Yeah. All right, my dear. Okay, so I'll put you back there in the group here. Thank you, Aizan, for that. And let's see if we got any questions. I don't know if we got questions here. Okay, I'm not seeing any. So we've got any more comments, Silka, from you? If anybody has a question, we got 5 minutes left. If there's any burning question, please ask, and we have time. We can ask that. We can answer that, hopefully. Or any more comments from you, Nathalie? Really, it's open. So maybe what I can do is maybe promote our work a little bit more, right? That's why we've done the demo, and you've just witnessed the demo for NeuroSystemics, and we are a community. We're a school, if you will, an online school, where we are teaching how to do this kind of work, and we've got amazing teams of mentors. Silka and Rebecca are part of our team. This like high class, very kind, very evolved, very skilled practitioners, and we have all studied deeply the NeuroSystemics approach. There's amazing things here, like nervous system understanding. There is system science understanding. There is social dynamics understanding, relational understanding. There's we're looking at that. We mentioned the three phases, and so we're talking about phase 1 is sort of that the trauma knowledge and understanding. Phase 2 is more this supporting someone in their life and how to make even the better choices for their life, the coaching area. Now, phase 3 really is this, you could maybe even say the spiritual realm. Some people like that word. Some prefer maybe the non-dual realm of our experience. You know, there's lots of scientific standing that shows that these deeper states, and even in groups, are valid and real. Let me see. I see some messages coming through. It was very nice to see a new session from you and Nathalie. Thank you for that comment, Hande. Yeah, so we also are offering a self-care course in June 1st. We're going to be doing the self-care course. It's a month long. It's free. Check out our website. maybe Silke, could you post our website maybe up there? That would be great. Just check out our website. You'll see all the details there. That's a great way to check out what we're doing. It's very supportive, very helpful. We're doing introductions as well later in the summer for the NeuroSystemics path, the approach. We've got info sessions once a month, not in June, but in July, we'll start them up again. And there's also GCGs, we call them the global community gatherings once a month. That's for free as well. So check out our website. We've got a variety of things on offer, and also very powerful work. This is our specialty, is the group work, the resiliency circle work. And you get two of us, two therapists to work with a small group, like 8 to 10 people. Very powerful. We do the similar thing here that we saw with Nathalie today. It's a, you know, we have a sliding scale as well for the pricing on those group sessions. So please check out that possibility too if you're interested. We've got, you know, and you can also ask for a therapist to try a neurosystemic session for yourself. So lots of possibilities. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for your time, for lasting for however an hour and 45 minutes. I want to give deep thanks to Nathalie for your courage to come forward and to share your being, your beautiful being with us tonight. It was such a delight to be with you. And a big thank you to Silke and to Rebecca for you guys showing up, and all of your reflections, your insights are very powerful. That enriches the demonstration very much, makes it meaningful, very meaningful and powerful. Any last words, Nathalie?
Thank you. You know,
Okay.
The gratitude is there, and in words sometimes it's a bit shallow. So really, thank you from the bottom of my heart for your gentle touches.
Yeah, I feel it.
And you too for assistance. Yeah. Okay. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Super, guys. All right, so I